Can you believe I finally come across an episode of She-Hulk that I actually liked? I know I'm as shocked as you are. Hello, hello, and welcome to my channel. I'm Reina Creole, bringing you that spice to sci-fi and pop culture analysis, and of course, keeping it real when it comes to theme parts. And in this episode 8 of She-Hulk, I'm gonna give you my review of it. I have to say, I'm shocked exactly how much I like this episode. I know, don't run. Got my issues with it. But now you can't say that I hate everything about this show. It's still trash. It's still trash. But this episode was some enjoyable trash. So before I get into that, please do your girl a favor. Please do hit that subscribe button. And once you do, please hit that notification bell so you can be notified when your girl has hot, fresh content for you to enjoy. So with that said, let's get on to this review of Ribbit and Rip It. Sounds like Frogger. All right, so Jen has a new superhero client, Ribbit. I have not heard of this dude. Because I did not read the She-Hulk comics. It's actually kind of funny. Basically, you're your dude bro, and well, why is he coming to Jen for help? Oh well, she said, why is he coming to She-Hulk attorney at law for help? Well, because there's a little issue with his costume. You see, his costume caught on fire. Yes, caught on fire. Now, product liability issue, right? With what's going on. Now, normally this wouldn't really be all that interesting, but the person who made Ribbit's costume here, Luke, costume extraordinaire. So obviously that's a conflict of interest we got kind of going on, considering everything that Slick Nick and Pug went through to get Jen all that fabulous. I say fabulous because that outfit she wore to the wedding was freaking horrible. Uh, she's been getting clothes from her boy Luke, so this could be a big problem. She's calling into question Luke's integrity about his costuming skills. So she goes to see Luke, of course, and to say, see, there's this client of mine who wants to sue you because you gave him a bum suit, bum costume, faulty costume. And Luke's like, oh no, I do not make faulty stuff at all. And of course, Jen's like, well, it's not like you're being sued yet. Just kind of admit you screwed up. Really, why would Luke do that? But apparently that's what she wanted him to do. And Luke does what a diva does when your integrity is called into question and it's BS. Luke basically destroys the dress he was working on for her and basically said, get the heck out. Get out. I like that he told her that too. How dare she do that?
Then where is your counsel?
I'm here.
Who's this asshole?
So, of course, we proceed on to court proceedings. And who should be defending our diva costume extraordinaire Luke but Charlie Cox, aka Daredevil? So, of course, we're in court here, and who should be defending costumer extraordinaire Luke but Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil? Now, your girl was freaking out in the movie Spider Man No Way Home because I finally got to see Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil. So your girl was just like, oh, this is good. Oh my gosh, finally, something good that I can watch. And I haven't seen the Netflix Daredevil show. It's been recommended to me. I know I got a ton of stuff to watch, but love his comedic timing, love his delivery, love how he basically just eviscerated Jen in court, especially when he picked up the smell of jet fuel in the room. And it turns out that, your boy Ribbit put jet fuel on the boots of his costume, which Luke precisely told him not to freaking do. And he did it anyway. So,
Mr. Patilio, what kind of fuel did you use in your boosters?
Jet fuel.
Wait a minute. You used jet fuel in your boosters? Because that's not what my instructions said.
What?
Mr. Murdoch wins the case, which, of course, that piques Jen's interest a little. Okay, I'd say a lot, but we'll find out a little later on in the episode just how much.
Jen. No, because I hate you now.
So Jen and Matthew Murdoch meet in the bar. Of course, Matt buys her a drink, and they just engage in some actually really freaking good dialogue. I have to say, I was quite impressed with how the dialogue was written, the characters talking to each other. You know, Matt Murdock basically talking about his pro bono practice as composed, well, just compared to, kind of how Jen's line of work is, which is interesting considering she used to work for the prosecutor's office. I would have thought she would have been a little bit more sympathetic to what Matt was talking about with respect to his practice, but that's neither here nor there. This was some great, like I said, great dialogue. I was freaking surprised it was actually in this. And of course, at the end, Jen's kind of like, you wanna go for another round? Little clingy, but it's like basically, I gotta get up early, go back to New York, babe, I got stuff to do. And she's kind of like, oh, okay, okay. So I kind of like how they left that hanging there. It's scary. I actually like Jen in this episode for the first time. I she's not getting on my nerves. It's a little scary. So remember that weird fanboy dude that Jen as She-Hulk went on that like speed date with? Yeah, apparently this fool is back with his whole fetish, you know, to meet up with her and all of that. And the part that I thought was cringy as hell, it had to be this part with him doing the whole Wakanda forever thing, and he's talking about how he studied actually in Wakanda. I just thought that was forced and a little too cringe, but to the writer's credit, he had She-Hulk basically make it known that it was cringy as hell and it was making her uncomfortable. So y'all get kudos for that. Apparently, dude was also trying to make a pass at her too, which is like, I'm charging you for the whole hour. Again, it's scary how much I like this episode. So Jen gets a call as soon as she gets home, trying to relax from this like messed up messed up appointment she went on with the She-Hulk fanboy. She gets a call from, Ribbit dude, basically saying, I'm being attacked. You got to come help me out. You got to come help me out. All of that. She's like, okay. All right, fine it where you are. XYZ. She goes to the rescue. But apparently, while Ribbit's driving, the getaway car, there's this figure that's stuck to the hood of the vehicle. Now, who could this villain be? Hmm. I give you I give you three guesses who it is.
Oh! My car!
You need to.
Yeah, buddy, it's Daredevil in what has to be one god awful costume. I want to let this one go, but I can't. But I can't. Here's why. Out of all of the MCU shows that have been on Disney Plus, She-Hulk has to be the one who has got to have the worst costuming I've ever seen in a TV show. It's such half-assed that I can't excuse it. I can't excuse it. This looks like something even cheaper than you would get at Walmart for a Halloween costume. For as much money as these episodes cost, you mean to tell me you couldn't hire a costumer to come up with something that looked amazing and that the color actually looked good and it didn't look like somebody threw ketchup and threw mustard on it, that it actually had some kind of rusted tones or muted tones. I can't believe this came from Luke. No, y'all can do better and you should. Oh, I will say, I actually do like this outfit. It's probably the one outfit I actually really do like. So I guess they blew all the money on this one, and this is actually the episode we saw in the first trailer that came out for this show. So I'll give them points for doing much better with her unitard. So you got her and Daredevil, fighting, but of course Jen She-Hulk doesn't know that Daredevil is actually Matt Murdock, so they wind up fighting, all of that fighting, smack talk going on, which was actually kind of funny. I did enjoy that banter going on with all of that. Now this is just me, but I really didn't like the fact that she wound up getting the best of Matt Murdock. That's just my personal thing, and probably I'm a little sensitive because of just the feminist drumbeat that's been going on through this whole entire series. Granted, there's less of that in this episode, but I didn't really like the fact of seeing this and having her unmask him like that. I kind of would have rather he did it himself, but I didn't like the end basically being that Jen had bested him. I mean, call me sexist if you want, and I really don't care. But that's how I felt about it. So Jen finds out that, Daredevil is actually Matt Murdock. Of course, he's like the gold devil or whatever it is that she wants to call him. And she's like, well, why the heck are you, chasing my client? And it's basically, your client kidnapped Luke. It's like, oh, okay. Well, guess we need to go and fix this, right? Okay. So Ribbit has Luke imprisoned in what I like to call the other bro lair, basically saying, make my stuff for me, the way that I need it made for me. And he's a real douche. But he's a funny douche, so I can laugh at Ribbit and laugh at the fact that, Luke does not seem as diva-ish now that, it's just got real. And his attitude is kind of come to bite him in the ass. So to wrap things up, She-Hulk and Daredevil go after, Ribbit, put him out of commission. They rescue Luke. Luke is obviously grateful to Daredevil and especially to Jen for pulling his ass out of the fire. And of course, Luke's like, okay, basically you're forgiven. And Jen's like, will you still make outfits for me? It's like, yeah, I'll make a dress for your gala. I'm not a monster. And then promptly tells her, try not to get bloated between now and then. I thought that was a funny barb. I do like Luke. Again, he's one of those secondary characters that, just grew on me. I like him. Haven't seen Ribbit for that long. I like him too. So just really good writing in this episode, which makes me wonder where the heck has it been for so long? So of course, here we have the moment afterward between Jen and Daredevil. You know, ah, you were great. No, you were great. No, you were great. No, you assisted, but you helped too. But that nice little seductive banter going on. I did like those moments between Daredevil and or I should say should be Daredevil and She-Hulk. No, because she's in her Jen form. So we'll say between Matt Murdock and Jen. That was actually some really nice dialogue. I was actually feeling that. Again, I actually felt sympathy for Jen. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe they can go ahead and, kind of see what goes from here on out. Like I said, it's like a nice moment. They're talking, you know, that like comes so kind of high off the adrenaline. They're obviously feeling each other. It's a nice romantic moment. And he's basically like, when you come to New York, maybe you can come and see me. And she basically says, well, basically, why wait? It's all well and good. And Jen decides to delve into Ho territory yet again. Now we see Charlie Cox, aka Daredevil, out in broad daylight in his costume suit, whatever. One, I got a problem with that. For someone who's so concerned about his secret identity, why is he out here like that? And it's pretty obvious the neighbors like, what the hell? Who is this dude? Second, the quote unquote walk of shame.
Morning.
I understand that these are third wave feminist writers, but let's just say the walk of shame isn't nearly as good of a joke for a man as it is for a woman. It just is. I honestly would have laughed harder if he would have been like, nah, I can't stay for breakfast. I gotta go. I got a plane to catch. But this walk of shame thing, I mean, if they had been dating for a while, I could probably buy that, but not this. Nah. Nah. If anything, he probably would have been on his phone like, yeah, come and get me. I got a plane to catch. I guess they were trying to be funny and trying to be witty, but this part just fell flat for me. But overall a good episode so far. I'm wondering what's gonna happen to screw it up. So She-Hulk breaks the fourth wall about, oh, y'all are still here, and Nick comes in, hey, there's some dude out there and dressed like a gold devil doing the walk of shame. And well, yeah, supposedly doing the walk of shame because you know, Jen hit that. Again, She-Ho. So we forgot about that gala, right? That female lawyer of the year gala, Hey, let's get ready and go to this thing. So here's Jen coming out, Jen as She-Hulk, looking absolutely fabulous. I gotta say, I actually do like this dress. Whoever's been doing the costume design for the unitard and for this dress, I don't know if they kicked them off the project or whatever, but I actually like what I see here. The CGI still looks like crap, but I like that. I like the dress. Pretty cool. So of course her parents are there, all proud of her, as they should be. Here we are at the Female Lawyer of the Year award, which it seems so weird. Female Lawyer of the Year. I don't know. I mean, they have these type of awards, I guess, but it just seemed something just seemed a little off about it. I couldn't quite put my finger on what it was. Because not only is she called up, but a bunch of other chicks get up there at the same time. It's just like what is going on? You have here all the female lawyers. So you have here all the female lawyers explain what being a female in law means, and you get like all the trite feminist answers, doing all of the work for half of the recognition and less pay or whatever, that whole trope that comes out. And it's cringe, but I can actually overlook it since the writing was actually better. And it seemed like this was a setup to something else. So of course, Jen gets her turn to explain what being a female in law means to her. And just as she gets started on her spiel, look at the avatar in the background. And then you start hearing this ominous voice with like a, voice changer.
Do you want to see who She-Hulk really is?
Oh, my identity is not a secret. This is busted.
Basically saying you don't know who She-Hulk is and you shouldn't be honoring her. And this is basically why you shouldn't be honoring her. And it's like, can we get that to stop? So look what we get to see here. You remember Josh? Nice Josh, who she kind of hooked up with. Well, everybody's about to see in 4K just what she was up to with Josh. Uh, Basically, everyone got to see some revenge porn. Yeah. Remember, Jen's parents are in the audience watching this too.
This is the truth, presented by Intelligentsia. She-Hulk does not deserve your attention. She does not deserve your praise. She does not deserve the power she stole from the Hulk.
Oh my god.
Remember how I said I was waiting for the other shoe to drop, that this episode seemed a little too good? Then I see this. you know, Remember I was telling you guys the whole intelligentsia thing was like a ripoff of like 4chan or Kiwi Farms or, you know, Reddit forums and stuff like that, where they were trying to make them the villain. Well, the writers went full stupid and did an obvious ripoff of YouTuber Doomcock shtick. Now, anybody who has ever seen Doomcock knows between the voice modulation and the mask, that's what put it together to say, boom, that's Doomcock. Now, I've heard people say, oh, well, the mask looks like Squid Game. What will be gained from going with Squid Game's plotline? Nothing, right? But you have people out here on the YouTubes who I want to say hate watch Doomcock stuff because Doomcock does call out a lot of things that are going on in pop culture that are not going the right way. And apparently, some of you at Marvel have been watching his stuff so closely that you've made it very obvious that's who you're trying to parody. And if you were trying to parody Doomcock, you pretty much failed at it. If anything, it shows you folks just have zero imagination and that Doomcock is living rent free in the heads of the writers of She Hulk, most notably Jessica Gao and probably Victoria Alonso. God, I've seen some stupid things happen in writing, but y'all just went full stupid with this. All I could do is laugh. It didn't feel sinister at all. Now, let's back it up a little bit. Remember how I said I actually felt sympathetic for Jen in this episode? I really did. You know, one of her most intimate moments thrown up there for everyone to see, including her parents. Is that something you really, want out there? I do call her She-Ho. I do, because she just seems to be sleeping with all these guys. But she didn't deserve that. And so I will give the writers kudos for making me feel bad for her. It really did. And when she got into that rage at the end and was smashing the heck out of all the screens and everything, I felt that. I really did felt that. And I felt that she was justified. Unfortunately, that really did not go over well at all.
Don't do it.
And by the end of the episode, Jen is, she's got all those red dots on her. SWAT's about to take her down. Or so we think, because this is where the episode ends. So, like I said, this was the best freaking episode of the whole series. I kid you not. This is the episode that the whole show should have started with. Because felt sympathy for Jen. The action went right. The writing was excellent. The dialogue was really good. I mean, aside from, that Doomcock F up, I really screwed up with that. I actually really did like the episode. So whoever was head writer on this episode, hand clap to you. Because while I still think the show was complete trash with the other episodes, this was the only gem in it. And honestly, the only episode where it didn't feel like torture to go back and watch again, because I enjoyed it just that much. A lot of it probably has to do with Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil. But I think that's a good part of it, but not all of it. Overall, it was a good watch. I know, right? Your girl actually liked an episode of She-Hulk. Okay, now I know some of you might take issue with the fact that I called She-Hulk She-Ho. All right, look, where I come from, you got some chick who's just banging dudes as soon as she meets them. That's a hoe. But at least be honest about it. Like, yeah, I did it. Don't act like you're the victim and all that. I just think it's a bad example, but that's just me. Am I slut shaming? Yes. Yes, I am. And I will wholeheartedly admit to that. This chick is promiscuous as hell. From what I've heard, she is like that in the comics. But like I said, be honest hoe. Nothing wrong with that. Full disclosure. All right, so that is going to do it for this review. It went on longer than I planned, but like I said, I actually freaking liked this episode. So I enjoyed going through it. So let me know in the comments, what did you think of this episode? Did you think it was, the best ever? Or are you still like, hey, the show sucks. I don't freaking care how good this episode was or was not. So let me know what you think. And especially those of you who have read the She-Hulk comic books, you tell me, if you're still watching the show, what you thought of this episode, because I would really like to hear what you have to say. All right, so with that said, that is going to wrap up this video. If you got some value out of it, please do hit that thumbs up button. And if you didn't get any value out of it, well, you know, what can I tell you? I'm glad you watched this far, so thank you very much for that. So until next time, I will see you in the next video. Bye. Oh man, I'm so glad there's only one episode. One episode left of this. God. Maybe I'll end on a high note. Who am I kidding?